should we go through some of our draft? Should we
guess.
start with? Why don't we start with mine? So this was I picked at the 112, and don't judge us too harshly because again we're shaking the rust off. I start with I was happy with the start, but then the Garrett Wilson pick really just threw me for a loop. I forgot a couple things. I forgot that we even talked about third round reversal as this draft was going on and I was going into detail about every league must have a third round reversal, and this is why. These are important details to iron out, and then for some reason it escaped me that I had turned on third round reversal for this, and I panicked and picked Garrett Wilson when I should have taken Brian Thomas Jr. or Bo Nix, but that's fine because Roma Dunze, I have to believe that the Bears offense is going to be better in 2025. If it's not, I'm going to be a pretty sad individual, and because that would mean Caleb Williams is not very good. And as I was digging into the Bears and Roma Dunze's situation, because I do believe he's a dynasty buy overall, based on where he's being drafted here and based on where he's being valued according to Keep Trade Cut, I think he's a buy, but it is risky in the sense that we don't know who the Bears head coach is going to be. We know who's going to be picking the players, and so far that's not been very, very good, especially offensive line. There's risk to it, but you still got Odunze's still a top 10 NFL draft pick. So we have the draft capital and we have the talent profile that everybody liked when he was coming out, or most people liked.
Keenan might be gone next season.
Keenan will be gone
probably
next
gone.
season.
Back to LA, some say.
Will be. He'll be sitting on a couch. Well, he was actually pretty good. I shouldn't diminish.
He was better than
Keenan
Odunze,
Allen.
So I don't know if we're gonna go and badmouth him, but he's probably gonna be gone.
He's not. I will say this. He's not nearly as quick as he once was.
No.
And he wasn't really that fast to begin with. So I went James Cook, Chase Brown. Felt like I got a pretty decent deal on Chase Brown there. Tua, I'm hoping that I can get multiple seasons out of Tua, but in the 7th round with Mike McDaniel. No Tyreek. Tyreek wants out. And then I think this is the 108. TJ Hawkinson, Matthew Stafford, Brian Robinson, Khalil Shakir, Deshaun Watson, who knows. And then this is, I think, a mid to late second round pick, and then Jerome Ford. So went a little bit more running back heavy than I usually go in these things. But, because, and Garrett Wilson could be traded too. So this team, it's a lot riskier than I would typically like to go. So this is an interesting team for me. It's not my typical strategy, although a lot of these players are on the younger side. That falls in line with what I typically do. Any thoughts about this, or do you want to move to your team?
No, I thought you had a nice squad.
All right, let's move to your team. We have, or do you want to say the names?
I'll go through it and just kind of talk about maybe what I would do differently instead of what I did. But the pressure of having to talk and draft at the same time and search for these names kind of got to me. I did very much make the willing decision to go Brock Bowers at the 1-4. I think given that the anti-QB early strategy kind of worked out for me, I did take a big risk with Anthony Richardson in the 6th round. I probably should have followed it up with Justin Fields at the end if I do believe that there's a chance that he ends up in Indy. But I think I got a safe asset in Jared Goff for a few years. I think I would have rather have come away maybe with a Sam Darnold instead or something similar instead of going with Anthony Richardson. But there are still plenty of quarterbacks on the board that have jobs and some incoming ones as well in the rookie class. So there are different ways I could patch that hole. Barkley and Jacobs, a little bit on the older side. Jacobs has a little bit more mileage left on the tank than Barkley, but I'm going to get at least a season or two. I'm going to get 2 out of Jacobs. I'm going to get at least 1 out of Barkley of elite usage. A.J. Brown, super stud wide receiver, locking my wide receiver core down. I don't love the Jaden Reed pick. I really would love to finally see him get an expanded role. I think he can do it. I think he'd be great at it. I just don't understand why his coaches don't seem to agree. They want to keep. I love Christian Watson. I know he got hurt. This is not to kick him while he's down, but I just don't understand the infatuation with continuing to try and deploy Christian Watson out there all the time when you have Jaden Reed, who's just so obviously your best playmaker as a receiver, but just not getting that full allotment of snaps. Ricky Pearsall, I think, is really going to start rising here. Trey Benson, I don't really love that pick either, but that could really change on me here in the next year. I wanted to get some youth. You got to think a second round pick, even though with James Conner's contract, they're going to be looking to work Benson in a lot more next year. I hope at least. Downs, a little bit of a risky asset, but we saw like he's incredible separator. Evan Ingram getting a lot of targets. I think that could be a really strong flex play here in tight end premium. Thought I got a good discount on Tyjae Spears, given how his season ended and how he looked at the end of the year. Jalen Wright, rising star, potentially. Raheem Mostert's another year older. My only issue there is that HN is just going to be a bell cow, it seems, and just play all the time and get all the snaps. And then I took Randy Bullock at the end for shits because I thought it'd be fun.
Yeah, and I don't even know what rookie pick that would be. It's
I don't
so
even.
far down.
No, probably an early third.
Yeah, I will say this. I think Barry 83, the first 3 picks. I mean, I don't know exactly what the
first
plan
4
would be.
Picks.
First 5 if that's Ashton Genty. I
mean,
give me a break.
True.
Like this to me,
absolutely.
Just with the first this foundation of a squad. Chase, Bijan, Brian Thomas Jr., Devon Chain, and Ashton Genty. You remember in the league when what's his name? Ruxin?
Yeah.
Have you seen the show?
Yes.
He has to go to his team is so good he has to go to a hotel room and
Yeah.
That's I mean Barry's probably
what you do if you strike that start in a dynasty startup draft.
Yeah. That's a sexy team right there. And then this rookie pick is
I think that's where he overextended though, and then just kept taking all these rookie picks.
You think so? Because I think
I don't like the rookie class enough to be taking him over some of these people.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I don't hate the strategy though. I
think it was better than what I put out there.
But if you get these 5 guys, I'm just telling you right now that I would have pushed the pedal down more than he did on a win now strategy.
Agreed. Agreed.
So I don't necessarily he went the value route, getting the rookie picks, and who knows,
But Evans was a good pick there for that strategy.
Oh yeah, 1,000%. And the nice thing about this is he's got flexibility, right? So he can, if he thought, the value pick here, which is what you should do in a dynasty startup. You should just try to accumulate as much value as you possibly can. So he did a fantastic job with that.
You think in this format though too that you can sell off those rookie picks before they're drafted?
That's what I'm getting at.
Okay,
he could have thought that hey, the player value on the board, the rookie pick is more valuable than the player. So I'm just gonna go rookie pick, and then a month later, I could get, I don't know, Josh Jacobs for the 201 or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, who knows what could happen? That's probably a bad example. But
I see what you're saying, though.
Yeah. Any other teams that stand out to you, or Dad David is interesting here. With
I don't like it
at
all.
Yeah,
I'm not be honest there.
Yeah,
I like the way Ping Pong Butt started. Daniels the 1-1 is bold, but I like it. McBride and Drake May, and then JSN, Addison Flowers, Jameson Williams. Like it could be a rather frustrating and inconsistent set of receivers.
This team is better in best ball.
It is better in best ball. It's lacking some significant top end talent. So that's my one issue with it, but I like where the head was at.
I like the first two picks. The Drake May, man, like
Rice over JSN.
I would have taken Bo Nix over Drake May, to be honest. No, you don't agree?
No, I mean I can see that argument for sure. I have bias.
Yeah, I mean the first two
I have
picks
Patriots bias. I can't.
Were really good, and I just don't like if you could tell me they've got T Higgins for sure. If they get T Higgins and they draft like Travis Hunter and he plays 50% of the time at wide receiver and you upgrade the offensive line, then okay, I can get behind Drake.
What?
What's that?
That's not fair.
What do you mean?
That's not fair. Because Bo Nix is doing what he's doing with Cortland Sutton and all them, and like they're
all of them. Who's all them?
You're saying what you're saying is that the Patriots have to have a better supporting cast than Denver Broncos' current supporting cast for Drake May to be better than Bo Nix, and I don't think.
Okay, maybe okay. I probably should have just said T Higgins. I think they're very T Higgins dependent in the offseason, or T Higgins or Travis Hunter, assuming Travis Hunter plays at least 50% of the time at wide receiver, which is a big if.
I will accept that. Yes.
Okay. So that's probably where I should have left it. Like they do need to upgrade the offensive line too, though, no matter what they do. Like that's got to be priority number one.
If we can figure out T Higgins and get Kelvin Banks in the draft, I would be ecstatic.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best outcome possible.
I don't think there's a chance in hell that T's leaving Cincinnati unless Cincinnati truly does not want him back.
Yeah, I don't know what their cap situation is either. That Cincinnati is a team very much in the same vein as Chicago, as they don't like to
spend money.
Well, they don't like to do what the Saints are doing, which is to just F a cap, push everything into the future. There's not a lot of Los Angeles Rams in either the, there's not a lot of F them picks or F the cap mentality in Cincinnati or Chicago. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I think there's a decent chance he switches teams and the Patriots would feel like a really good fit. And then if they get Vrabel, they could turn that thing around
instantly.
Like in the division that they're in, the Jets are a mess. The Dolphins aren't as good as a lot of people thought they would be. They're going to lose Tyreek Hill. I know they got the Bills there, but Patriots could be feisty next year if they make the right moves, and especially if they get Vrabel. I think Vrabel is my number one coaching candidate. I know that's probably crazy to some people, but
I think as a talent, Drake May is better than Bo Nix. And I'll leave.
There's a lot more upside with Drake May. A lot more upside is strong. I think there's more upside with Drake May. I will agree with you.
There is a lot more upside with Drake May.
But with Bo Nix, like Bo Nix is pretty secure with Sean Payton and what they got going on there. That's pretty safe. Like if you want to go the safe route, and more than safe, he was really good this year. So
no, he was. But you know what the floor is going to be there with Bo Nix. Like the situation is, still a mess in New England, and that's kind of what I'm speaking to in terms of safety.
Fair enough. Let us know what you think in the comments.